We've got life is now. Life is now, people. I like the message. Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, assalamu alaikum. How are you, man?
Alaikum salam. I'm good. All right. Who do we have? Where are you joining us from?
Seattle, Washington.
Right.
I wanted to really thank you because I think you did a little video a while back about not killing ex-Muslims. And I was really thinking about it because actually I was an ex-Muslim for about 8 or 9 years until like maybe September of this year.
This year?
Yeah, like literally like a couple months back. And it was just like I was just thinking that, imagine if I had been killed and I wouldn't be having the sweetness of faith that I feel now. Like how I wonder if Allah would have held that person accountable for what I'm experiencing now and not having experienced it, if you know what I mean. And B, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please carry on.
And B, imagine how, because my experience over the past two months has been almost like, a person who's been starved or is like dehydrated to a very extreme extent, finally finding an endless fountain of water and just being able to drink from it and not being able to fathom what did he deserve to find this fountain of water, this saving grace in a weird way. So anyway,
Allah bless you, bless your journey. Your words touch our hearts, seriously, and they leave an imprint on our soul. It's something, what you're saying, it's not even, you're hypothesizing even at the nth degree of saying killed, but even abuse, even verbal abuse, these things are enough to really damage people. The amount of people that go into clinical depression, the amount of people that break down, the hatred, the seeds of hatred that get sowed just because, people react. We were also speaking with Matt, people react with that animal instinct as opposed to, this, what God has gifted us. And, just to hear that, wow, not only your journey of faith, but your experience of finding it and how you feel, may Allah bless you. And it's an absolute honor to just hear you say that here on live today.
Well,
so shukran.
The reason why I feel so strongly is because I didn't seek faith this time around. It's like I think I saw a video of yours. You're like, the Maliki fiqh chose me. And similarly, I didn't
like that. That is faith, and even when I was just speaking to Matt a moment ago, you see this question that people say that, look, about the path, about this consciousness, about becoming aware, about God, you see, it will choose you. When the time comes, there will be a calling. I mentioned that inner voice. It will hear that calling regardless of whether you do or don't. And it's hard to explain this because it's like taste. It's like, how do you explain the taste of
it's such a personal and subjective experience that I can't tell the me from a year ago, even though I would have been, 28 and still a very, relatively able-minded person. I would not have understood what I'm saying now if I explained.
And you may have even, I don't know, may have even ridiculed. You may have.
Oh yeah, because I remember a clear conversation I had with my uncle a year ago. I told my family right away that I'd left Islam. Obviously, being the Pakis that we are, my mother, my uncle, they were all very devastated. But alhamdulillah, they never abandoned me, because I was afraid they would like kick me out of the family and all this, but they're like, you're our kid. Anyway, my point is, so I remember a year ago, how boldly I said to my uncle, like, yeah, there's probably some sort of I'm a very naturalistic person in the sense that I love nature if you like poetry, I think you might enjoy the poetry of John Muir. He's a American naturalist whose poetry I adore because he explored the Western United States and how gorgeous these mountains are in the Western United States. In any case, so I don't think I ever stopped believing in a greater power just because of how majestic and beautiful nature is. But at the same time, I remember telling my uncle a year ago, no, this book is probably just man-made, and it's probably just sewn together, you know, by either knowledge by the prophet or by people who succeeded him. And I think back to that statement, and I'm like, how blindly that was, and how proudly that was said. And so it's just, wow,
You know,
I can't explain.
This is why it's so important. You know, somebody mentioned earlier on, they said, look, you know, they were mentioning people, you know, people that are still involved in kind of attacking people, in kind of saying such and such person. I mean, verbally, as in saying such and such people are deviant, or such and such people are like this. And I was saying that, look, break that circle of toxicity. You know what? Like, I tell you what, let's make dua for them, I said, you know, because I said that the thing is that, you see, what can you imagine? You see, you were a year ago, you were at a particular place in your life on a journey, and you are somewhere today. It doesn't matter what somebody believes, they are on a journey, but where they may get to depends on how people treat them. You see, you show someone love, you show them encouragement. Like you said, look, your family didn't disown you. Where would that have got you?
Oh,
I mean, exactly.
Yeah, no, that would have been terrible. And you know, the funny part is, the whole reason I came back to Islam, and I said I didn't choose to come back. It was like basically what happened is my uncle came to visit me from Pakistan, and he stayed with me for a week, and he brought me a musalla, or a jayanamaz, right? And after he left, I was looking at the thing like a nuisance, just sitting there in the corner of my room. I remember the feeling. I'm like, man, I have to get rid of this thing. So I called, and I even joked with my mom that I'm going to ship it to you, and whatever happens on the way happens, because U.S. mail is notoriously unreliable sometimes. So anyway, I was looking at this thing like a nuisance, and since I always wake up very early, just because I was a pseudo-practicing Stoic. I love the Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. So I woke up early and did my exercises, but I had this weird instinct to pray Fajr out of the blue, just by looking at this musalla. And I was like, so I think I'm really glad I followed that instinct, because I had to Google. I had forgotten all of the, you know, the tasbih, subhanakallahumma. I had forgotten the tashahhud. I barely remembered my Fatiha, and barely remember Surah Ikhlas. I had been a very, like, in my mind, I think I was a very practicing Muslim before, but I think now that I look back, it may have been all takathur, or like the show of outward, you know,
it's
religiosity.
It's life. It's all part of that journey.
Yeah, but in any case, it was just, that's what I mean, that it was an instinct that I didn't choose. It just came, and I'm really glad I followed it. And when I felt that in my broken prayer, because I had to Google, and it was just a broken prayer, even that done with focus and sincerity was like the feeling I got, I had never experienced before. And alhamdulillah, I still experience it every time I pray now, if I do it properly. And I'm really afraid it will go away, but I'm glad it never does.
It's amazing, man. That's amazing. And you know, that is within you. Okay, so just remember that is your, and the prayer is always just something that brings you into that state of submission. It brings you into that connect. That's and just, yeah, man, I'm really glad you shared this with us. I appreciate it. Do stay in touch, you know, send me a message on Instagram. I'm gonna look out for your post and look out for your messages. And inshallah, if there's, keep us posted. I congratulate you again, and I'm just grateful, and I make dua that you shared this, because it's not, you see, one is
I
your
want to share
journey,
hope.
which is, yeah,
I want to share hope.
that's what you're
That
doing.
I'm just looking at some of these the toxic cultures, the toxic brothers in faith of mine, and I look at the things that they say and how they ridicule others and just ask them, just leave Islam, why don't you? Because you believe in something I don't. Or I, whatever happened to La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah being, okay, you're my brother, and I'm gonna give you, even if you don't say it, I still give you the respect that
what the
human
Prophet
deserves.
said. Dakhal al-Jannah. He said, that's it. La ilaha dakhal al-Jannah. It's
so I want to
it's
share
done.
hope. Yeah, I want to tell the people who are Muslim that, if you see ex-Muslims and they are ridiculing you, be gentle, because I was there. And
for everyone you meet is fighting a difficult battle. That be gentle. It's these words, they're so valuable. I mean, that's from Plato, but it's so valuable. But yeah, shukran once again, and you are doing that. You are giving hope, by the way. But just you're beaming it. So I'm that's it, man. Just keep it going, and do keep us posted with your journey. Okay, so shukran once again, and I'm sure anybody that's from Washington, they want to reach out and connect. I'm sure you can connect, and inshallah continue that journey. Take care of yourself. We'll speak soon. And shukran once again.
Assalamu. Thank you for having me.
People, that was Life Is Now, a really powerful message, because so often we become so judgmental. I spoke just a few minutes ago about people trying to castigate, people trying to outcast, to excommunicate and anathematize people from the faith, do takfir, you kafir, you deviant, you this, or this person is an ex-Muslim, or this person is a kafir, this person is a fasiq, or this person is a, just not a true Sunni, or not a... Hate never yields results. And the results it does yield are just very, they are counterproductive to anything, antithetical to the good cause.